Welcome. I am Stephanie Larscheid, the Executive Director of Prairie Family Business Association, and we're pleased to present content to you in regards to small businesses and family businesses as we all work through the crisis that we're facing in our Brookings community, in the county, and nationwide. And here to present with me is Mary Jo Miner, and she is the CEO of Mills Property Management, a family business who has worked with Prairie Family Business for many years. Mary Jo, can you please introduce yourself?
Hi, I probably know most of the people that may be watching this in Brookings, and I'm excited to be on this recorded message. We are Mills Property Management. We manage commercial and residential property in about 17 different communities throughout eastern South Dakota, and I am a second generation family business leader, currently the leading generation, and we have the third generation transitioning into the leading role. So
wonderful. Well, thank you, Mary Jo, for presenting with us today. We know you're facing a whole lot of challenges, opportunities, obstacles right now. And what we want to address is how important it is to step away and take time to work on your business. It may be the last thing you want to do, the last thing on your mind. You even take an hour or 90 minutes and set aside time to focus on who we are, where we've been, and where we want to go, especially today, is so important. And that's how we're going to see businesses get through this, succeed, thrive, be on the other end, and become the 100-year-old family business, small business that's in our community for generations to come. And that's what we want to help you achieve. And Mary Jo and I want to share some insights that can help you do that right now. One item that we would like to suggest is a family meeting, a family business meeting. And this is a really important and timely way to step away from your business and take some time to pre-plan for that meeting, and to bring in an outside facilitator. That's one thing we'll recommend, and Mary Jo will speak to that point, to facilitate your family through goals and through some challenges and through opportunities and how you can be innovative right now. So Mary Jo has a lot of experience with family business meetings. And so to that point, Mary Jo, why don't you speak to bringing in an outside facilitator and what that can do for a family business meeting?
I think bringing in, or at least starting with a facilitator, is like the key to being successful in the communication going forward and the continuation of successful meetings. First of all, whoever is instigating or motivated to start the family meetings should meet with the facilitator, so the facilitator completely understands the business, understands some of the family dynamics, and before you have that first family meeting, meet with the facilitator and understand what the objective is for that first meeting so that you can stay on track. The facilitator can remain objective, can respond without any bias or history with anyone in the business or in the family, and that's really key.
It is. It's important. We see families move along at a lot quicker pace when they do have that outside voice and expertise in the room than when they try and self-facilitate or do it themselves, or even do it around the kitchen table, which is something we really encourage you to avoid. Keep family dinner enjoyable. Don't bring hot topics to the family dinner table. Keep that family time family. And I think you would agree with that, Mary Jo, that it's important to keep that separation whenever possible. And maybe you could speak to that.
I think it's really important too. We have met generation ago. We met at a motel in a meeting room, and it felt very really awkward. Why can't we just go to mom and dad's? We all go there all the time, but it really made it become business-like, and it made it be objective. And even sometimes meeting at the business isn't the best place, because if there's someone that's not daily involved in the business or at the business, we all have our roles and we all have our things. It's harder to add conversation that might be helpful to the business if you are meeting at a business, if there's any kind of emotions involved. So going off-site totally is the way to start.
I agree with that, Mary Jo, and even to take it virtual if needed during these times. And we are seeing a lot of success with some virtual interactions. You might say, well, I want to sit across the table and talk. Well, if that's not possible today, this is a great alternative to get a meeting set up like we are today, and you can still accomplish a great deal through this interaction. And Prairie Family Business Association, we're businesses in South Dakota, North Dakota, Minnesota, Iowa, and Nebraska. And as we do that, our goal is to help you become that multi-generational business, especially today. We're providing a lot of outreach and support to our businesses and making connections where needed, whether that's with government or national resources or with fellow family businesses who've been through a certain similar situation or who today are going through something very similar to you. We can connect you with one another. And I know Mary Jo has a lot of great experience reaching out to fellow family businesses in the region and talking about how that's been great for you.
Yeah, it had, going to different meetings and being able to share and being in an affinity group as well has been huge for me to be able to ask questions that felt like ignorant questions, and then understand that every business, every family business has similar questions and similar experiences, which kind of feels empowering at times. So yeah, reach out to other businesses that you think are maybe have transitioned or have had success with a family business, or you don't know how their communication systems work. I think that is huge. One of the things that I would also add is that make sure everybody knows why you're having a family meeting, prior to the invitation, is so that you can, everybody can kind of be on the same page, just even before they even come into the room. So.
And oftentimes what we'll see is the facilitator working with those who will be at the meeting, and maybe it's a pre-meeting survey or just a brief phone call with each family member who will be at the meeting saying, what are your objectives? What do you want to accomplish? What is something you want to bring to the table to talk through that's on your mind that you really want to have discussed? And that pre-meeting can be so beneficial for the family meeting to be successful as well.
I think if we can understand what is important to everybody that's in the room at the very beginning, that would save time. In fact, in some of my experience, it might have saved years, knowing what everyone wanted out of the business or wanted out of the experience of being involved in the meetings. Some people want to just be on the team. Some people want to lead. Some people really don't know what the plans are. So I think exactly to have that facilitator do that survey ahead or have a conversation with everyone, those key people, to understand what their objectives are and what their interest is and what their expectations would be coming from a meeting.
I think that's so important, and that can really help the success and the feelings that everyone has some ownership of the meeting and what's being accomplished, and that everyone cares what the other family member has to say or is dealing with. That can really be helpful and beneficial. What Prairie Family Business has, in follow-up to this conversation, we have a sample family meeting agenda that we can share with you. And so reach out and feel free to ask questions, and we'll give you that template as a free resource. We want to help. That's what we're here for. We are education-based. We want to help you succeed in any ways that we can. And to the small businesses, or if it's you and your spouse or you and a sibling who are running the business and taking in this content today, I would say to you that picking up the phone and making that phone call to another family business can be so instrumental right now. And often on the other end of the line, you're not bothering that person that you're calling. What you're doing, they're often very flattered to give their experience and their wisdom and tell you how it's been great or challenging, or what way they were able to navigate the situation at hand. So I would really encourage you to pick up the phone and make some phone calls to others in the business community to talk through how they're handling situations. That can be very, very helpful. Now, you often might say, who should be at that first meeting when you have your family meeting? And it's kind of hard to know, who should we invite? How far down the line should we go? And so it depends on your family, it depends on your business. But often we say to start with the related owners, that they sit down. And Mary Jo, do you want to speak to that? Who is good to have in the room initially?
I think that based on what the objective is for your family meetings, and family meetings can get a ton of information out, a ton of understanding and over time, but to be patient, because you aren't going to get everything accomplished in 1 or 2 meetings, but start small, start with the key people, start with the key owners, family owners, people that are involved in the business, and then grow it from there so that you can set those objectives and you can set the tone for every meeting. It's a lot easier to add people to a meeting and educate them as you go than it is to invite the whole tribe, and then you have everybody leaving with all kinds of different understandings. So I would say start small and grow it from there. And just want to encourage everyone to do it, because the experience that I've had, even though there've been some rocky roads, it's really been worth it. Because now, as my parents, who are 94 and 92, continue to hold the assets of the family, the original family business, we all, my siblings and I, we all have a good understanding. We all understand what is going to happen. Many things have already transitioned. We have multiple successful businesses. And so I just want to be encouraging that it's worth the hard work, but to start small. And I mean, maybe spouses aren't included to begin with, just the people in the business, or just the ones that are running the business or leading the business. Start small and understand what the objective is and what your goals would be, and then add people as it makes sense.
That's a really good point. And that's speaking from experience. That is something that people should really take to heart, is to think about who's in the room, and that over time, perhaps then you start having quarterly family business meetings, and at each meeting it's a new objective, and perhaps there's one meeting where spouses are invited to a portion of the meeting or all of the meeting, and it really depends on your business and your family situation, or maybe it's a situation where it's a family business, but you have owners who are non-family members. And so then there's a place for them to be at a portion of a meeting down the road, or perhaps for a state of the business address where it's more very much business focused than it is family focused. And that's where a facilitator can be so helpful in talking through all these different scenarios with you and your individual situation with your family business. And we have a wealth of facilitators to offer to you through Prairie Family Business, and what we provide is that first meeting is free. So we really encourage you to take advantage of it, and to take the time to make it worthwhile to spend that time working on your business.
I want to add something, Stephanie, too. And sometimes I think when we're in a small business or in a family business where we do all even understand the business, it just feels so familiar that it seems awkward to all of a sudden become so professional and have a facilitator, because we do business every day and we talk to each other. Why can't we just move ahead? And I just think that it's so worthwhile to treat your business as what it is. It's your family legacy, or your small business is your future. And even though you're so familiar with the day-to-day operations and you don't think what you do is significant enough to incorporate a facilitator and get formalized agendas, you really will benefit from structuring it this way and raising the bar, so to speak, and professionalizing the communication, at least at those meetings. And setting those meetings and holding them offsite really speaks large and huge to the owners, as well as any employees you would have, that you're being very intentional and very strategic.
That's a great point. And we hear that from families, that their employees say, we're so happy to hear that you're meeting and being intentional about the future of the business, because we enjoy working here. We enjoy being a part of this family business as employees, and to know that you're taking the time to invest in the business and our future and your future, that is so reassuring to us and to our community. And that's what they like to hear. And it gives them that sense of peace and confidence in you and your leadership and the future of the family business. and also sets the stage for that next generation who will be taking over at some point. What we're also seeing among family businesses in the region is an opportunity to collaborate during these times. We're seeing that some businesses are having very sharp downturns that are devastating, and they're trying to work through that. And there's other businesses that they are facing an uptick because they're servicing a certain need or product that is in demand right now. And so what we're hearing from families is if there's an opportunity to collaborate those two types of businesses together, where if one business is needing to furlough or lay off and another business needs to ramp up for a period of time, perhaps there's some synergies that can be created among the businesses for a period of time to share employees or share resources or share materials, etc. So be creative in that sense too. And we want to encourage and help that any way we can, because we know that's going to make the whole community and the economic turn of this better for everyone. So if we can be of help, please reach out and let us do that. Mary Jo, do you have any closing thoughts that you'd like to share related to family business and what it means and legacy, and how we can all work together to make that last for years to come?
I just think it looks a little different for every business and every family. And I think whatever you do is right for your business and family. It's like everything, you're going to get out of it what you put into it. And just a quick closing thought is sometimes it's maybe important to have meetings that are really focused on the business. And sometimes maybe you need to remember to have a meeting that is at mom and dad's table and you don't talk about business and it's just about the family, and you can set goals for that too. And, you know, trying to make those things very intentional it's hard work, and there's times when you feel like everything's crashing, but it's really worth it. It's really worth it.
You get through on the other end.
Yeah.
And a point you had mentioned is it's important for that family time to include those who don't work in the business, but are family, and for that cohesion to happen as well.
I think something that is important is to explain to the people that may not be invited, quote, or involved in the first meetings, that it's just because you're finding your way, and that there's definitely room and growth, and there will be days and times, and that they could be included somehow. And a good facilitator will do that. They can also talk to those people that may not be in the meeting, but find out what their concerns or their cares are. I would definitely want to know that, because sometimes a spouse or a cousin or whoever it is in the family may have some insecurities or not understanding, and you can really alleviate a lot of emotional strife or conflict if you can kind of understand, and they can understand that there's no secrets. It's just trying to be as intentional and successful as we can be.
That's a great point. Thank you, Mary Jo, and thank you for your words and for encouragement. And I know that Mary Jo is more than willing to speak with anyone who may have questions or need a resource, and I am as well. Feel free to reach out. We're here to help the success of small businesses and family businesses, especially today. So thank you very much. We appreciate it, and best wishes to everyone.
Thanks.